So in the previous video we were talking about dominant alleles, and we saw that dominant alleles, they basically, the parents of the sick kids must carry the dominant allele as well and must be sick themselves. At least one of them must be sick. Unlike recessive alleles, which we are going to see right now, recessive traits, you will see that if you have two parents that are both healthy and their kid is sick, one of the kids is sick, that means both of the parents must carry the recessive trait, the recessive allele. But the other allele of the parents must be dominant, because if they are both healthy, it means that they are only carriers of this disease. So this is a nice trick to actually understand if this is a recessive or dominant trait, a recessive or dominant disease. If you see parents inside this pedigree tree that their kid is sick but they are unhealthy, it means that this disease must be a recessive disease. Now let's try to go one by one and try to analyze overall what we see in this pedigree tree, just for the sake of exercise and knowledge. So this individual, this individual, this individual, and this one, they are all sick, which means when it comes to recessive diseases, all of them are homozygous recessive. Must be. If you have one parent which is sick and the other parent that is not, and one of their kids is sick as well, one of the parents who is not sick must carry the recessive allele. So this parent must be a carrier because you have one kid who is sick. And because if you remember, recessive means two recessive alleles, and you only get one chromatid from each parent, which means one allele from each parent, the father must have one allele for this trait. And the other allele must be dominant because this individual is healthy. Let's go to the other side of the pedigree. Let's go to this side. We know one of the parents, the father, is sick. This one is sick. The mother is not sick. But all three kids are healthy as well. So what do we know about the father? The father can be either dominant, homozygous, or it can either heterozygous. But can we actually know if it is a heterozygous or homozygous gene? I'm not sure actually, because if it was AA, all of the kids were healthy. If it was AA carrier, it is possible for the kids to be healthy or not. Statistically, they might be healthy or might not be healthy. You can't really know for sure. So we can't know if the mother is healthy, is a carrier, or contains homozygous, not a carrier, for dominant gene. So what do we know about these kids? These kids are both healthy, which means these kids either get the AA from the parents or either get the AA from the parents, because both parents are carrier. Can we actually know what are the kids? Do they homozygous dominant or heterozygous? We can't actually know because we don't have enough information. So this one is either AA or AA. You will see that this mother is AA and this father is AA. Let's try to create a Punnett square to see what we can deduct when both parents are carrier. So you have AA and AA. Let me write it over here so you can see AA and AA. So you have homozygous, you have heterozygous, and again you have heterozygous, and you have sick. You have 25% for the kid to be sick. But you also have 75% for the kid not to be sick. And you also have 25% for the kid to be homozygous dominant, or 50% for the kid to be a carrier. But we don't actually know which are the genes of the foreign kid. So this is all of the information we can actually deduct from the following periodic pedigree. It's very important that when you see this pedigree or similar pedigree on the IMAT and BMAT exam, you will immediately take a second and just analyze and think which are the alleles of the following female and males, the sick individuals and the healthy individuals. When you see and you start to recognize the following patterns, where you start to see that the parents are healthy, therefore it's a recessive, or when it comes to dominant, all of the parents are going to be sick, one of them at least, you're going to start to recognize the patterns, and it's going to be pretty easy and straightforward for you. Then you're going to start analyzing using the simple Punnett square. You're going to start and calculate the odds of the kids and individuals in the pedigree to get the actual to be carrier and to be sick and to be healthy and the homozygous dominant and so forward. It's very important for you to start to analyze a lot of pedigree from now. And on EnterMedSchool.com we have free pedigrees that you can solve yourself and you can practice. So I will link everything in the description, and I will see you next time.